NIPP Lot 6 transmission. This is part of a substation extension in Aloji that receives power from the power plant, Aloji power plant, and then connects it to the national grid. This is finished, handed over, and is energized. We'll go on to the power plant, sir, and you'll see.
This is finished now?
Yes, finished, 100%, completed 100%.
And it's energized?
Energized.
What is its capacity?
It can take up to 2,000 amps, about 1,000, eventually 230 kVA. It can take about 800 kVA, 800 megawatts. 800 megawatts? Yes, sir.
Guys, you have any questions? Those of you who think know what is going on. There's a lot of, people don't. Please, questions here, or we go to the power plant. Yes, power plant. Don't run as if
because of safety. Aloji power plant, sir.
What is the capacity?
The capacity is 1,074 megawatts.
Can you hear that?
1,074 megawatts. Okay. Megawatts. But 500 megawatts is completed, ready to go into the network now.
500 what?
500 megawatts of the simple cycle. This is a different technology from the others because this is a combined cycle of 1,000. But the first thing is that the gas turbine will first of all be energized before the steam turbines will come, and the construction of that is ongoing. But for this plant to start, because it's one of the few plants in Nigeria that will be able to start by itself without having to import power from the national grid. So if in the case that there's no power, the additional facility is that we can start even when there's no power, and then black start, and then start the bigger machines and be able to give other people in case we have national grid collapse and all that business. That's the Black Star facility. All this is a Black Star facility. This is on its own is 5 megawatts. 5 megawatts. Yes, 0.6 megawatts, which needs to be started first. All that is commissioned and is working. Let's go on. And the clinic, the admin building where workers is. Well, if you can notice, there's a gate. So those people who don't have anything to do with the power plant cannot come in. This here is the workshop and maintenance. On this computer, this is the HMI, and you can see for the same size, the generator step up is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 2 steam turbines, and then this is what we go that we use to connect to Owerri for the export of power. So you can see, sir, that these two are showing red, which means that they are connected and live. These are not energized, but we can export power from these 4 generators now. We have fine-tuning with the gas, which from NGC, which we're looking for them to be able to make available so that all the generators can be available. Now the quantity they have made available is not sufficient to run one machine. Right now, none, sir. No power is generated there because there is no gas to run the turbines. NGC and Mr. Ome, this is actually NIPP. I'm from the factory.
What's happening to the gas supply to Alaoji?
We have gas supply to Aloji. We have gas supply to Aloji. As a matter of fact, we have a temporary supply, facility for temporary supply. They're now building the permanent supply. So when we commissioned the unit, we ran the unit to base load. Okay, we wanted to do the reliability run, but they had a little problem with the supply. They advised that while they calibrate at their interface station.
But who is in charge of the gas supply points?
NGC.
Are you NGC?
No, I'm client. That's NIPP. They should be at their station. Their station.
Yeah.
Across the fence. I think we'll go there.
We need to know what installation when full gas supply will come.
We had a meeting in Abuja. And we were told that NGC is working on it, that it can make the gas available by latest by the end of this month. But they said this month, the temporary supply, but that the permanent solution may be by June, which is because there are 20 pipelines. The pipeline is not connected yet.
Mike.
Anyway, let's go around because we have to discuss this question.
Press. Those with camera go in. Those without camera don't come in.
All these turbines compete with both the discharge control building.
Yeah, it's very, very. This one is.
No problem. It's 12 hours.
Knock.
I mean, at the level of our development. What do you now
Okay, what happens is that the gas will come in from NGC, we receive it into here, and then we now treat it and eat it up. Those are eaters. And then he has his own little control room connected to that central control room we have. So as you are doing this, the man in central control is monitoring amount of gas and the quality and if he needs to shut it down. So everything is commissioned, been tested. We're just waiting for that final volume of gas so that we can go into operations.
This is the place to answer questions relating to gas. The other day, yes, unfortunately, he said he was station. Just across our place. Are we going there? I thought you were going out through here. If you're going out through here, you will pass the station. Just by the side.
Hello, Mr. That place is a bit is different from this compound. Okay. If we go that way, we will spend the whole day here in this place. So what we'll do, since you have given us explanation, give us explanation and then we'll come over.
I have said that, sir. That what? We have gas, but not enough to sustain a continuous. So when are we having enough gas? That's the question we asked. Now, NGC said, NGC already asked us to run the plant where to do the adjustments. NGC, okay, Nigeria Gas Company, they have already informed us that we should run the plant where they make the adjustments so that we get enough gas.
There is a final.
When are they giving you? When did you say this could be done?
Oh, as soon as the contractor, runs the plant, then we'll do it. That's Roxon Engineering.
Huh? Roxon Engineering. Yes. What we have run the plant, and what we in Abuja, what we agreed was that, well, because we've done it twice, and it's not there. But they said the final solution of bringing this is just the temporary gas supply. The final one will get here. It's been done by Total. We'll get here and the gas will be available latest June. But meanwhile, the plant will run on that temporary, which might only allow one machine at a time. Okay, but the machine may not be able to generate up to 126 megawatt because the gas is not sufficient.
But this year, this place,
by the grace of God, once the gas is there, we will have at least 500 megawatts to inject.
500
from here, sir.
Ready now to fire.
To fire, sir.
Waiting for the last mile.
By the grace of God, sir. Yes, sir.
This year, must find a solution. Now, here is this turbine, the steam engine turbine. Yeah. Under canopy.
They are stored
Under or over?
under the cover.
What was seen like a house.
Yes.
So what is inside the part of the turbine? The ones that can be kept outside. The ones that are inside these two buildings.
Yes. Sorry. When is this place going to be?
Okay. Yeah. Aloji power plants, like we mentioned earlier, we have already 2 units commissioned tied to the grid, except for the problem of inadequate gas. We have been running continuously. The other 2 are under pre-commissioning. And according to the contractor, before the end of the year, the 4 plants will be ready for, by June, everything will be ready. That's what we're working towards.
Now, what is the total capacity of Alaoji?
Each turbine unit has 126 megawatt capacity. But that's ISO condition when all the design parameters are met. But when you consider the ambient condition, we are hoping to get as much as 120. In fact, when we ran the first unit, we got 120, which is... So all the units added together, the simple side, the gas turbine, is 504 megawatts. The extension, the add-on we are planning for the steam turbine will give us another 500. 1,074. That's now 1,074 megawatts. Now the other question on don't forget that this project started as a federal project when the main contract was awarded by PSN. But later, the federal government now gave all the new power projects to NIPP, now being financed by federal government, state and local government. So that's the situation now.
NIPP, National Integrated Power Projects. This is generated, the investments come from all 3 tiers of government, from excess crude account. So that is where all these power plants, particularly about 10 of them are being constructed. This is just one. There are 9 others apart from this. Most of them nearing completion. This one, the gas section, 4 gas power units are ready. Gas is being fixed because I know for sure that the Minister of Power is working around the clock, and the contract for the gas pipelines supplying gas to these stations has still been awarded and work is going on. As we go to the other states, we are going to see the progress in the gas supply pipelines that are being built to deliver gas to these plants. Already, the one for Geometric is completed. They have told you they have no problem of gas. Once they finish now in March, they will run 24 hours. This one is also being fixed. So, let me summarize it by saying that Alaoji, with a capacity of 1,074 megawatts of electricity, is going to be one of the largest power plants in the country. In the meantime, you have seen that all the equipment, including the turbines, the generators, for the steam turbines, that's the steam turbine generating units, are here. The foundations are being laid there. And you say, when will that one be completed?
Hopefully before the end of the year.
Roxanne, you are the contractor.
Yes, sir. The first unit should be in service by the end of this year, and then the second unit next year, sir.
Next year when?
Next year, quarter 2, 2014, sir. By the grace of God.
So, the important thing about what we are seeing here is that the government
is really, really addressing the power question. There should be no doubt in the mind of any Nigerian that what the president has done in power has not been done by any leader in the recent history of Nigeria. He has decided that power is the priority. You are talking about why are there no local materials being supplied here? There is no power. Industries are not operating at full capacity because power has been a major issue in Nigeria. Now this is being addressed. This year will be a very decisive year for power. Because from what we have seen at Geometric, what we have seen at Alaoji power plant, and the other plants we are going to visit, it should be clear to you that the president is out to address on a very sustainable basis the question of inadequate power supply in Nigeria. 10 power plants, we have just seen one getting ready, the independent one set. And the story it tells us is that whereas in the past, governments were addressing this power question in a very, very unsustainable manner. Build one plant here, give it to NIPP. Now everything is going to the private sector with government providing the warranty. The reforms have been completed. These power plants are not going to be run by government so that people will not come here, use patronage, use politics to run down these plants. They will go to the private sector. If they don't run them well, they cannot make their profit. So they will run them well. And that is why we have already reformed the power. The president has finished virtually finished the reforms. The regulator has been set up. The bulk purchaser from independent power plants has been established. And again, the transmission network that is going on is even bigger than what you are seeing in the power plants in the country. You can see all these are all new. You can see the one going to Owerri from here. You saw the one going to Port Harcourt from the substation at the gate to this place. So a lot of work is going on in the power sector. And I think the president should be commended. And for journalists, if you are reporting these things, will not take the stress to come here. You don't report it. You don't just report it. And the impression people get back home is that what is the government is not working, we are not doing anything. It is not true. Let me seize this opportunity to tell Nigerians that this president may be very humble and quiet, but in terms of leadership, in terms of the reforms, in terms of his vision for this country, in terms of the program he has unveiled for Nigeria, this president is going to be the best so far in the history of Nigeria. I have no doubt about it. People may abuse him, people may insult him. There's a quiet, humble man that is prepared to address the major troubling questions that have always confronted Nigeria, and power is one of them. Capacity of the 3 units that have been installed. The thing about Geometric is that the nagging problem of gas supply to Geometric has been resolved. We saw that gas has been connected to Geometric. So by June, Geometric will be able to stabilize power in Aba and all the surroundings, which means that Aba will be having, by the grace of God, by July, August, uninterrupted 24-hour power supply for all the industries and the surrounding, which will be a big boost to the economy and the factories that are operating there. Now, the federal government on its own is building 10 power plants under the NIPP program. Alaoji is one of the biggest of those plants being built by Roxy. The company, Roxy Engineering Company, is the one building Alaoji. Alaoji, as we have inspected, is made up of 2 compartments. The first one is gas-fired power plants. This one has 4 units. Each of those units is 126 megawatts. So if you multiply 126 by 4, it gives you what for mathematics? 504 megawatts. Now all the 4 units are ready. All the 4 units of the gas-fired plants in Alaoji are set to give electricity to the national grid. What is expected now is that between now and June, like we saw at Geometry, the gas supply to this place right now, a lot of work is going on. The Minister of Power is building permanent gas power plant, pipelines to Alaoji. And from the report we had here, by June, they would have fixed the entire gas supply network to Alaoji, which means by June, by the grace of God, Alaoji will start working. And when it starts working, we'll have 504 megawatts of electricity generated from here. So between here and geometry, before the end of this year, we're expecting close to 1,000 megawatts of electricity to be generated here in Aba alone. Now, the steam turbines that are to be installed, about 2 of them, will generate about 300 megawatts each. Now, the important thing about the steam turbines is that the foundations you can see are being built there for the installation of the steam unit. All the turbines are at site. Every equipment that is required to build the 2 steam units at Alaoji are ready. So we are told that by December, if work goes on at the pace we have seen, the first unit of the steam turbine will be fired here, which will give additional 300, which means by the end of the year, we're expecting something like 804 megawatts of electricity. And then by the end of the first quarter of next year, we're expecting that the entire 2 units of the steam turbines will be fired, which means that we will now have the full complement of 1,074 megawatts of electricity being generated from Alaoji alone by the second quarter of next year. So the point to make here is that for the first time, President Jonathan has put his finger on Nigeria's power problem. In the past, it was all feed and start. You do something today, a little here, a little there, another a long period, nothing. The improvements we have seen in electricity in this country this year comes mainly from power recovery from existing plants through the completion of power substations that have energized and given additional power to the country. The power recovery is the improvement we have seen. But from this year, we are going to see increase in power as a result of new power plants that will be commissioned by the federal government. As I said, there are 10 plants being built by the government under the NIPP programs. This is one of them. Then there are independent power plants not built by government, such as geometry that we have seen. So combined, it is expected that between here and the end of 2013, this country is going to witness tremendous stability in power supply. It will not be the end of it, but it will be something that was never witnessed in this country before by the time we finish this. Then in addition to the generating plants, we are undertaking comprehensive construction of power transmission infrastructure across the country. This is going pari passu with the new power plants being constructed, so that by the time these plants are ready for commissioning, we will have the infrastructure that can convey power, so that we don't lose the power. The existing infrastructure that is being replaced cannot convey the total power that will be generated. Even now, we are generating about 5,000 megawatts of electricity. But because the transmission infrastructure is weak in some places, we are not able to convey all the power that is being generated. I can assure Nigerians that the transmission infrastructure is going on, and by the time these power plants are commissioned this year, it will be ready to convey additional power to all parts of Nigeria. Now, over and above this, the most significant aspect of the power reforms of Mr. President is the power roadmap, which has made this possible. Without the comprehensive reforms in the power sector, you will not have private sector participation. Now, what has happened is Mr. President has virtually completed the power reform. The power from 2013 onwards is going to be driven by the private sector. Why private sector? Private sector because the public control of electricity has never worked. Like it didn't work in NIPP. It is not working with electricity. So government controlling power plants, generating power and selling has already been caught up in the corruption in the public sector, inefficiency, laxity, and lack of commitment. But private sector power plants are going to be carried out entirely by private investors. If your power plant doesn't work, you are losing money. So which means we have to work harder. So the revolution we have seen in telecoms is now taking off in the power sector in Nigeria, thanks to the president's stable leadership, commitment, and his eyes are fixed on the ball. So for Nigerians who think nothing is happening, I'm challenging you, the media people. This huge project that we're witnessing here is the kind of quiet work Mr. President is undertaking across the country.
The thing with power is until you tie the last knot, you can't have power supplies. Now the last knots are now being tied here at Alaoji and several other centers in Nigeria. So I want to say to Nigerians that yes, this president may be quiet and humble and we will take all the insult. That's what leadership is all about. A reformer can be praised in the beginning, but I believe President Jonathan's program in this sector, as we have seen in the railways, we're seeing in power and in agriculture. By the end of this administration, this president may go down or will go down as the best we have had in terms of national stability, focal development, reforms that are not at the surface but are consistently being implemented for the future of Nigeria.
Honorable Minister,
yes.
I've been told that at times
you are set to produce.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, actually, maybe I'm on the address maybe just a word from the Deputy Governor has left us.
Yes, he's not really left. He has other state duties, but you can see how committed Abia State is to this project. The governor was here physically yesterday and today. The deputy governor was here up to a few minutes ago. So we are committed to this because we believe that Abia State, more than any other state in Nigeria, is benefiting from this good governance talk. Our governor has achieved so much, just like the president.
The state is also benefiting from these.
Oh sure, with the state benefits first and foremost. We are the state where these power projects are domiciled. He just told you about geometrics, and you know that geometrics is domiciled in Aba, and Aba is in Abia State. So we're happy with what is going on.
Jobs and jobs are going to come. This is the foundation for job creation. Even here, how many people are employed here?
At peak, over 600, and most of it is from the local community.
So, all these sites all over the country are generating jobs. By the time these power plants are completed and electricity stabilizes, factories will come up. Today you saw that in Aba, a lot of activities are taking up just from the depot. So, Nigerians should continue to trust in this government. We should trust in the president, trust in this government. The team the president has put together.
Projects in Abia State. I'm going to hand over to the studio in Abuja for continuation of the program. My name is Alaoji. See you around.